Okay, so we have covered like introduction part and the delivery controller installation and core component installation. So basically, what is delivery controller installation? We created one virtual machine with Windows Server 2019 operating system, and on that virtual machine we installed Citrix core component. That's it. We just install. Simply click next, next, next. That's it. Nothing uh, apart from that. So now in this session, I will let you know how to configure the Citrix hypervisor. In practical world, whenever you will join any organization in Citrix profile, so hypervisor, it will be already there. Okay, so you have nothing to install, but you must have some knowledge. Like if someone asks you to configure one server as a hypervisor, so you must be able to answer that. Okay, so okay, one more thing before installing the hypervisor, one more thing that you must know, guys, like this is a VMware workstation, right? In production, you will never find VMware workstation, right? They guys use, let me show you, like, so in practical world, you will find one hypervisor, that will be your hypervisor. And hypervisor, it may be from Citrix or maybe from VMware or maybe from Microsoft, which is known as Hyper-V. So most popular hypervisors are three only. Apart from that, we have one more hypervisor in the market, which is like totally free, right? So some medium scale industries using that hypervisor as well, and the name is XCP hyphen NG, right? So these are the few popular hypervisors. So it is very rare, like you will find this hypervisor, but you must have some knowledge. It is a totally replica of Citrix hypervisor, and the older name of Citrix hypervisor, it was, anyone any idea? What is the older name of Citrix hypervisor? It's XenServer. Okay. So older guys will know this as a XenServer, but for you guys, it is Citrix hypervisor right now. Okay. So we have three player like Citrix, VMware, Hyper-V. These are paid only, and this is a open source hypervisor which is known as XCP-ng. So if you go to the website and if you type like XCP-ng, so this is the open source hypervisor. You can use it at free of cost. Okay. Now coming coming to the point, like in production, what you will find one physical hardware. Physical hardware means it is a server on which we have to install one operating system as an hypervisor. Okay, so you will get one ISO media. From that ISO media, you can you can boot that hardware. Okay, and you can install that hypervisor on that physical hardware directly. Okay, so once you configured your physical server as an as a hypervisor, so let me make it simple. I'm just entering it. This is a physical server. You will get a Dell server, or you may get a Nutanix server or HP server, whatever it will be. Okay, you will get one physical server. On that physical server, you will install the hypervisor as an operating system. You will get sorry, you will get you will get one operating system to install on that physical server, right? And that physical server, it should be equipped with higher resources, like you can consider like 500 GB of RAM. Hard drive, it will be into the petabytes, like, or into the terabytes, means for an example, you can consider it like 100K GB of hard drive. CPU you will find like CPU with multiple threads. Where it gone? CPU will find like 10 CPU or more than that CPU with multiple threads and cores. Okay, so that highly configured hardware you will get at your office premises. Okay, multiple cores and threads. Okay, so this is your one physical server on which you have installed the Citrix hypervisor or any hypervisor as an operating system. And on that, once you configured any physical server as a hypervisor, after that, you will be able to create multiple virtual machines on that hypervisor. And those VMs will use the hardware resources, whatever is available in that hypervisor, like whatever the RAM, like as it is having 500 GB of RAM, right? So what you can do, these are your VMs. Okay, all those are virtual machines, so you can create hundreds of virtual machines on the single physical hardware. Any doubt in that part, guys?
Virtual machines means virtual servers only, Windows servers.
No, it's not like that. Virtual machines means you can install Windows 10, you can install Windows Server, you can install Linux, whatever you want. Everything will be virtual. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, let me don't save this. Okay, so basically now, as we have earlier created domain controller, right? Then we have configured the delivery controller, right? So now I will let you know how to install the Citrix hypervisor. Okay. So in my lab, I have installed Citrix hypervisor on type 1 hypervisor, which is my bare metal hypervisor. But for you guys only, I am installing this hypervisor on a virtual machine as a virtual machine. But in practical world, it will be on physical hardware directly, right? So I'm just demonstrating and demonstrate in you like how to create the how to install the hypervisor as an operating system. So for an example, I'm just creating one virtual machine. Click on next. From here, every hypervisor, it will be with your like Linux operating system, right? So you can select Linux. For Citrix only, if you are having VMware hypervisor, you can directly select this. But this is only like these steps we are using in this case only, like why we are using VMware workstation, right? But on physical hardware, you just have to install, you just have to plug in the USB media, and you can directly boot that hardware from that USB media. Okay, select the Linux, then Linux 64-bit, where it is, here it is, 64-bit Linux. Next, name it like Citrix hypervisor or XenServer, you can name it anything. Hypervisor. Okay. Next. So minimum disk size, it should be at least, means in production you will found like thousand of GB of hard drive, right? But for us, for testing purpose, 200 GB is fine. Okay. So I just make it 200 GB. Customize this hardware and increase the memory where it is. Okay. It's 1 GB only. Let's make it 4 GB at least for now. And we have to mount the ISO media. Click on browse, and This is the ISO Media Citrix Hypervisor 8.00, and this is a latest version. You can use anything, whatever you want. Okay, so I am picking this one. Close this, finish this. So now you can consider this virtual machine as a physical hardware. I am just showing you how to install that operating system. Okay, so simply power on the virtual machine. So once you power it on, it is asking like press the enter key, press it, and now it is booting with the Linux operating system with Citrix hypervisor image. It will boot and it will ask you few options to configure. Okay, whenever you will be installing any hypervisor, right? On that window, you will be never be able to use your mouse. Always you have to use the keyboard only. Why? Because mouse is not working in Linux core operating system.
Okay.
Any doubt, anyone, guys? What we are doing and why we are doing?
I'm not understanding.
What you are not understanding?
So this hyperware, what we are doing now, that
Okay. Okay, let me put that on installation part, then I will explain you. So now it is asking to select the keyboard layout. So US is fine. Hit enter key. Accept the things. Click OK. Accept the license. Hit OK. Now it will detect the hard drive storage. Click OK. 200 GB we have given to this machine. Our installation source is local media. Hit OK. We do not want to verify the installation media. Why? Because our installation media is correct, right? So skip verification. If you need to verify, you can do that, but it will take up to 30 minutes to verify the installation source, right? So I'm skipping that part. Now it is asking to enter the password, right? So anyone have any idea what is the default administrator in Linux flavor? What is the default user? In Windows, we are getting administrator user, right? But in Linux, you will get root as a admin user. So now we are setting the password for the root user. Hit OK. IP address will be given with the DHCP. No issue. Hit OK. Simply hit OK. And select the time zone. So Asia. And we are into the like India. So you will never find New Delhi here. So you will find Kolkata time zone. So select the Kolkata. Network time protocol is not required. Hit OK. And install the hypervisor. Now it will take a while. So coming to you, Anil, what is your doubt? What you are not understanding? It will take some time in installation. So in between, I will explain.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking like what is this we are doing now?
So basically, what is virtualization? Any idea on that part? Do you have any idea on that part?
Yeah, like as you said, like on a single hardware
Mm-hmm.
we can.
We can create multiple virtual machine, right?
Hmm,
So what we
yes.
are doing right now, look, this is my personal laptop, okay? And
Hmm,
in my personal laptop, I am having some resources like I am having CPU with 8 logical processor. I am having memory with 15 GB of RAM, and I am having SSD with somewhere around 500 GB, right? So what I did, I simply installed Windows 10 on this machine, right? And what I'm doing now,
yes.
I'm just waiting my resources. Why? As you can see, my CPU utilization is only uh, 30 or 20%, right? My memory utilization is 69%, and my hard drive utilization is just 0 or 2%, right? So what I'm doing
Mhm.
here, when I installed Windows 10 on my single machine, uh, so it is only utilizing that much of resources, right? So now I need to utilize my hardware up to its maximum efficiency, right? So what I can do, I can directly install the Citrix Hypervisor operating system in that physical machine, and after that I can create multiple virtual machines on this hardware, right, up to my hardware resources, whatever the resources I have. Means if I'm having 16 GB of RAM in this machine, so in that case what I can do, I can only create like 8 virtual machines with 2 GB of RAM on this hypervisor, right, if I configure this
Okay.
hardware as a hypervisor, right? So in into the data centers, what you will find, some very good configuration hypervisor with 100 or 1000 GB of RAM, right? You will find hyper hardware with multiple CPU cores, right? So what you have to do, you can directly install Citrix Hypervisor as an operating system on that physical hardware, and after that you will be able to create hundred of machines on that single hardware. So what we are doing here, we are reducing the cost, right? Because if you are having 100 users or 1000 users in your organization, right? So what you have two
Mhm.
options, either you can either you can purchase thousands of laptops for all the users, right? Or either you can purchase a single server and you can virtualize the server to provide the virtual machines to the end users.
Mhm.
Any doubt here?
No.
What we are doing, we are configuring one server as an hypervisor, as a hypervisor. Okay,
Okay.
so let's go back to installation. Okay, now it is asking, do you want to install any supplement packs? So basically supplement packs are some add-ons which is not required for now. Click, not click, hit on no. Okay, so it will complete the installation in some time. Okay guys, so what I'm doing here, I'm creating Citrix hypervisor on VMware workstation for you guys only, right? But in my physical lab, I'm already having one physical server on which I directly install the hypervisor as an operating system. So let me show you. So I have taken hardware of my Windows server. Okay, so this is my server, and in this server, so let me show you once again, like so this one and this one. Okay, so first machine is my physical hardware with only 4 GB of RAM. Okay, 4 GB of RAM and CPU is there. Okay, and my second machine, it is my strong hardware with 32 GB of RAM and 500 SSD. Okay, storage. So now on this physical machine, I have configured the domain controller like DC, and this machine, my second machine, I have configured with configured as hypervisor. And so what we will do, we will create each and every virtual machine on this hypervisor only. Okay, so what I did, I simply connect both the machines with the internet cable so that I can take a remote console of my hypervisor with my uh, domain controller. Okay, so this is my domain controller. Let me show you how to take the RDP. Open MSTSC. This is the IP address of my hypervisor, not hypervisor, my domain controller. Connect. So ABC is my domain, abc.com, and I'm entering the password for this user, which is ms185426. So now I have taken the RDP because this is my local area network. Now to connect any hypervisor, right? So as this is hypervisor, this is in Linux format, right? So you will not be able to understand if you have very strong knowledge about the command lines, or if you have very strong knowledge for the scripting. In that case, you can easily create virtual machine on the hypervisor in Linux mode, right? In CLI mode. But if you do not have that much powerful knowledge of scripting, right? So in that case, we are having one GUI tool from Citrix, which is known as XenServer, right? So if I go to the domain controller, I already installed that application. This is known as XenServer. And with the help of XenServer, I can easily connect to my hypervisor, and I can easily manage my hypervisor, and I can create multiple virtual machines, whatever is required for me. So when you install the XenServer in your laptop or desktop, so you will get, let me disconnect it.
Actually, why are we using XenServer?
So basically, XenServer, it will provide you some graphical user interface, right? To create the virtual machine, means you will get options like new virtual machine. I am showing you, okay? So basically, once you install the XenServer, you will find this kind of console for first time, okay? So from here, what you have to do, you have to click on add server. After that, just provide the IP address of your hypervisor. So in my case, IP address is 10.101. And I'm entering the password for the root user, which what I have created at the time of the hypervisor installation. Click on add. So it is synchronized. So basically, this is my hypervisor, right? So our hypervisor is getting installed here, right? This we are our hypervisor installing here, right? But after installation, what window you will get? Let me show you. This is my pre-configured hypervisor. If I go to the console, you will get this window, right? Enter the password, and now you can get the console. Like you have to type one command which is known as access console. Now this type of display you will get on your monitor after completing the installation of the hypervisor. Means this type of display you will get on your laptop or desktop or any server, okay? So now if you see here, you are getting very few options like virtual machines. If I go to click on all running virtual machines, so right now there is no running virtual machine here, right? If I go to all virtual machines, so I have created delivery controller on this virtual machine, and you can see like power state is halted, like this machine is powered off now. Memory for this machine is 6 GB, right? So right now I'm just using my keyboard. There is no option to use the mouse for this screen, right? So these kind of options you will get, and if you have to create the virtual machine, so you will get local command shell, right? And now it will ask you to enter the password for root user. I am doing it. Now you will get this kind of window, right? So if you are having some very strong knowledge in scripting on that, like after that only you will be able to create any virtual machines here, right? So if I type simple command like if config to see the IP address, so it is showing me the IP address whatever is allocated to this machine, right? Like 127.0.0.1, or this is a MAC address, right? And this is the IP address 10.101 or the net mask, okay? So means you can consider this screen as your monitor, right? So it is quite hard for you, right? So now what is the benefit of to install the XenServer here, right? If I click on here, you are getting like some GUI options. Like if you have to create a new virtual machine, you can simply click on new virtual machine. And from here you can select the virtual machine, whatever you need to deploy, like Windows 8, 10 server, multiple flavors are there, right? You can select any like Windows server. You can click on next. You can name it something like whatever the name. You can select the ISO media, from which ISO media you want to boot the machine, right? So in our case we will use server 2019. You select it. Next, you can like, as you can see, right now 28 GB of RAM is available for this server, on this server, right? So click on next. You can like you can increase the memory from here, like 2 GB or 6 GB or 100 GB. If your hardware is that much capable, you can create a virtual machine with 100 GB of RAM, right? So right now we can select 8 GB. Click on next. This is the storage. If you need to increase the storage, click on add it. And right now it is with 32 GB by default, but if you want to make it 100 GB, you can do that. Click on next. This is the network, no issue. Next. And this is a summary what we have selected, like machine name will be this, installation method is ISO or CD, boot mode or installation source, the memory, the storage, the CPU, whatever we have given. So I'm not creating any virtual machine now. I'm just showing you, like, with that GUI tool, it is very, very much easy for you to create the virtual machine. Means you are using this application when you creating the new virtual machine, it will be creating on this on the hypervisor only, right? Like this hypervisor. Okay. So look, now our installation is finished. Simply click on OK, and after reboot, you will get the same screen what I just show you. Okay. Any doubt, anyone? Guys, I know you are freshers, but it will take some time for you guys to grab up the thing. So that is the only reason why I'm forcing you to please do perform the things on your labs. Why? Because you are having each and every recordings with you, right? So, Simran, what about your lab? You told me like you are about to deploy the things followed by the recordings, whatever I sent to you. Is it done or not?
Like not yet. I just installed delivery controller.
Hmm.
I need some time.
Oh, what means what are you waiting for actually? Okay,
Yeah,
your health issue.
today only I
Yeah,
created.
yeah.
Yeah.
Please do it fast. And what about you, Anil?
I didn't start anything.
Please, as I told you, like I recorded each and everything in a sequence. So what you can do, please follow the sequence, right? And try to deploy
Hmm?
your own infra on your hardware. Why? Because when you will be performing the installation part now, you will get some errors,
Hmm?
you will get some doubts, right? So whenever you will get some doubt, you will ask me, right, for the same. So that is the
Yeah, but
only
first
thing
of all,
what
like
I
what I
need.
need to install, and I don't know about from where I can find that. I don't know
Do one
anything.
thing. Can you please follow all the videos from the numbering, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You will get each and everything. Okay.
One which you sent today, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go through. I haven't gone through that.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll go
please
through
do
and
that.
I'll go.
Please do that, because it will
Hmm.
mean these are only 30 minutes or 45 minutes recorded sessions, right? So you can follow the sequence, and what I'm asking you, please do not see the videos only. Like, just try to replicate those things. Like, just try to deploy the virtual machines, or if you are having that VMware workstation installed on your laptop, is it very, very good? Do you have that software installed on your laptop?
Nothing is installed. I should start everything from beginning.
Okay, so to get that particular software, let me show you what you can do. You can simply go to the Google and type VMware workstation. VMware workstation download. Okay, you will be redirected to the VMware official page. Click on the first link, and from here, just click on download VMware Workstation Pro for Windows. Click on this, and your software will be get downloaded. Okay,
Hmm.
and you just have to install the software. Simply click on next, 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 as we are installing Microsoft Office and other applications, right? Simply click on next. Once the software will be installed, you will get this window. And if you find any issues while installing the software, just ping me on WhatsApp, so I will quickly schedule a Zoom call with you. Okay? Any doubt?
No, no. While I'm doing that, I'll be getting doubts.
Okay, so please do that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So now, as you can see, guys, our hypervisor installation is almost done, and we are getting the same screen what I showed you earlier. Okay. So now, this is just to show you how to install the hypervisor as an operating system, nothing else. Okay. So what I can do, I have not required this hypervisor. Why? Because I am having one of my physical server with me. But if you do not have any secondary hardware, so you can continue with the creation of the hypervisor on VMware workstation. Okay. So I do not require it. So I'm simply powering off this machine, and let me delete that virtual machine as well. I just installed this to show you guys. Okay. So now,
So,
thi-
hello.
yeah, tell me.
Yeah, so in a server also we can install a hypervisor. Sorry, not hypervisor. If we install a XenServer, then we do not need any hypervisor.
No, hypervisor installation should be there. So this is just connecting your Gen Center is just it is a tool just to connect your hypervisor in GUI format. That's it. Okay. Whatever the activity we are performing here, we are performing all those activities on the hypervisor only. So hypervisor is a separate server. It is located somewhere in your data center, right? So when you have to access your hypervisor, you can install
Okay.
Gen Center on any laptop or desktop, and you can connect your hypervisor to the Gen Center. Okay.
So in delivery controller, server, I can also install a hypervisor.
No. You can install the Gen Center, not hypervisor. For hypervisor, you have to create a separate virtual machine. Means in my case, I have created delivery controller in my hypervisor only. Okay. Why? Because my server, I want to replicate the infra as it is. You will found in to the data centers. Okay. So do nothing. Create one virtual machine on your VMware Workstation Pro. Okay. As I showed you, just create a Gen server and install the Gen Center in any of your virtual machine, or you can install the Gen Center in your physical laptop as well. Okay. And with the help of Gen Center, you will be able to connect to your Gen server or hypervisor.
So already I have domain controller. So in that only I can install XenServer.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So in next, what we have to do, we have to create one Citrix site. Okay. So now only 2 minutes is remaining in this call. Let's take a break for 5 minutes, and then I will be sharing new invite to you guys. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it fine for both of you? If you need 10 minutes, I'm okay with that.
I'm
So
okay.
now
Yeah.
I'm completely free. Yeah, I can wait.
Yeah. Me too.
So please allow me 5 minutes. Okay. I'm sharing a new invite to you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.